So I learned a very important lesson at work. I am in IT, and as part of my duties, I support the Exchange server, which is email server. One of the things I do, now that we are switching over to another email system, is I shut down slowly the existing Exchange system. That's one of my duties. So basically, I turn off email addresses as they're no longer needed. That's just one of the things I do. So in the execution of my duties, I put together an email that says, hey, here's the dates a bunch of email addresses are going to have to go away. I've already shut down a bunch of other people's email addresses. It's about time yours went. One of the things the holdouts, the last people who got their stuff shut off, one of the things they do is they have an external piece of software that they use, a vendor with a software package in the cloud. Okay, so they have to have the email address. They have to have an email address available so that they can change their passwords. They can do changes, and you know how you get those bounce emails back and forth. Really, that's what they're after. I've never used this vendor software. I've only seen it run once or twice. But when I send out the dates to close down these email accounts, that I need these email accounts closed down by, the guy who administers this vendor's software, this external vendor software, on our side says, hey Kelly, can I stick some instructions in there to help people change their email address to their new email address for the new system that we're getting. Hey, that sounds great, says I. That sounds like a wonderful thing to do. Let's do that. Let's stick those both in the same email. Same email. Big mistake. This was the mistake I made. What I should have done, and the lesson that I learned is, no. I'll send out an email that covers my duties, and you send out an email that covers your duties. So it turns out there's a real genuine issue on the vendor side that prevents people from changing over their email addresses. But because I was the one who sent out the email, everybody comes to me looking to fix it. Never used the software. I've only seen it run once or twice. I'm having to try and deal with a vendor. And of course, they're asking me for screenshots. They're asking me for the error problem. They're asking me for the error codes and all this kind of stuff. I can't give it to them. I've gotten one of the people who uses the software to send me a screenshot in the past, but that screenshot vanished. And now nobody wants to talk to me anymore because they don't think I'm useful to get their problem fixed. The guy who had administered the software, well, he's moved on to bigger and better things, so he's tied up doing that. And it's really hard to get part of his time because the man genuinely is busy. So I've spent the last couple of days on meeting after meeting trying to do the rest of my job, because this is only one tiny bit of my job, but trying to figure out a way to get folks to be able to change their emails so that when they do those bounce emails, the verification type emails, it actually goes through our new email system and is allowed through. It turns out in a company with with as many employees as the new company has, which is a lot, the email system has an entire division in charge of it, and you have to sift your way through this group of people to find out, okay, this person does XYZ, this other whole group covers spam. They have an entire group of people who does nothing but cover spam. So we have to get a hold of them, find an engineer who can help us with our problem, who's willing to sit down with us and go through what we need. And to get something whitelisted takes takes a signature from the Pope. So lesson learned. From now on, when I have a duty and I need to contact a bunch of people at my work about something, I'm not gonna combine emails. Don't combine tasks. You keep the tasks and communications separate. One communication, one thing you have to do to take care of that communication. That's the rule. Lesson learned, and hopefully this just isn't a problem again in the future. But we'll see how long it is before my next lesson learned.